Hello and welcome to this special presentation on Rajya Sabha television, the Question Hour, wherein we bring you some important questions asked by the members of parliament earlier in the House and their answers given by the government on the floor of the House. I am Vishal Dahiya and with me is my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Vishal. So let's take our viewers through important unstart questions asked by the members of the Rajya Sabha earlier. And the first question that we've picked up is from member Anand Sharma. And this one is to the Ministry of Finance. And Mr. Sharma has asked whether the government's attention has been drawn to the demand of Indian industry to bring direct tax code as part of financial reforms.
Well, the Ministry of Finance in its answer says that there is no proposal under consideration regarding the direct tax code. However, the government had constituted a task force to draft a new direct tax law with office order dated 22nd of November 2017 under the convenorship of Shri Arvind Modi, the then member legislation of CBDT, with the original term of 6 months for submission of report to the government, which was extended by a period of 3 months. Again, the terms of reference, that is TOR, being to draft an appropriate direct tax legislation, keeping in view the direct tax system prevalent in various countries, the international best practices, the economic need for the country, and any other matter connected to this particular aspect. Well, the next question is also to the Ministry of Finance, and this one is from member Mohammad Nadim Mulhaq, and he wants to know from the government the total number of willful defaulters reported for public and private sector banks in last 3 years, and also the total amount of debt and liabilities owed by these willful defaulters to public and private sector banks currently.
Well, the government says that as per the inputs received by the Reserve Bank of India, the total number of both suit-filed and non-suit-filed willful defaulters of 25 lakh rupees and above in public and private sector banks was 9,431 as on 31st of March 2017, 10,857 as on 31st of March 2018, and 11,632 as on 31st of December 2018, and that is an increase of 15.12% in 2017-18 over 2016-17 and 7.14% in 2018-19 over 2017-18. The outstanding amount of willful defaulters of 25 lakh rupees and above in public and private sector banks was 1,73,289 crore as on 31st of December 2018. And as per inputs received by the public sector banks, 1,475 FIRs have been filed against willful defaulters during the last 3 financial years. The government further says that willful defaulters have been acted against comprehensively. As per data reported by public sector banks, including the IDBI Bank Limited, which has been recategorized as private sector bank with effect from 21st of January 2019 till 31st of March 2019, suits for recovery have been filed in 10,022 cases. In cases involving secured assets, action against the provisions of the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002 has been initiated in 8,067 cases. Further, in accordance with RBI instructions of initiation of criminal proceedings, wherever necessary, FIRs have been filed in 3,154 cases. Moving on, and the next question is from member R.K. Sinha, and this question is to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and Mr. Sinha has asked the number of LPG subscribers who opted to give up subsidy in the country during the last and current financial year, and also the proposal of the government to utilize this money.
Well, according to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, as on 27th of June 2019, more than 1 crore LPG consumers have given up the subsidy under Give It Up campaign. Now, estimated savings due to this campaign during financial year 2018-19 is 2,930 crore rupees. Further, the government has launched Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana on 1st of May 2016 with a budgetary allocation of 12,800 crore rupees, under which a deposit-free new LPG connection is provided to a poor woman subject to fulfilling terms and conditions. Now, oil marketing companies have already released more than 7.27 crore LPG connections under the scheme as on 27th of June 2019 against a target of 8 crore. The ministry further says that the government has introduced well-targeted system of subsidy delivery to LPG consumers through Pahel. Now, this initiative of the government was aimed at rationalizing subsidies based on approach to cut subsidy leakages, but not subsidy per se. Applicable subsidy is directly transferred into the bank account of the beneficiaries, and as on 28th of June 2019, more than 26.45 crore LPG consumers have joined the Pahel scheme. Pahel has helped in identifying ghost accounts, multiple accounts and inactive accounts as well. This has helped in curbing diversion of subsidized LPG to commercial purposes. Well, the next one is to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and this one is from member K.R. Arjunan, who wants to know from the government whether it is a fact that the government is considering to debar certain auditors from auditing for 5 years, and also whether it is a fact that government has found certain audit firms involved in corrupt practices.
Well, here's a detailed answer given by the government, and government says that petition under section 145 of the Companies Act 2013 was filed by Union of India through the Regional Director, Western Region, before the Honourable National Company Law Tribunal, Mumbai bench, against the auditor Mukesh Maniklal Choksi of the company Zen Shaving Limited. And the said bench has debarred him for a period of 5 years wide order dated 6th of February 2019. The appeal against the impunged order is pending before the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, New Delhi. Another petition under the said section has also been filed by Union of India through Regional Director, Western Region, against Deloitte and Cells LLP and others of the company Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services Limited. Further, petition against the said sections being filed by Union of India through Registrar of Companies, Pune, against the auditor Dattatreya Maruti Khune of the company Net Wealth Agritech India Limited. Well, the next question is by member Vinay P. Sahasrabudhe, and this one is to the Ministry of Earth Sciences. And Mr. Sahasrabudhe has asked what research has been carried out for Cryosphere studies in Himalayas in the last 3 years.
Well, the Ministry of Earth Sciences has responded in detail to this question, and the response says that the National Centre for Polar and Ocean Research, that is NCPOR, under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, has undertaken studies in the Western Himalaya in Chandra Basin in Lahaul Spiti since 2013. A total of 6 glaciers, namely Sutri Dhaka, Batal, Barasinghi, Samudra Tapu, Gepangad, and Kunjum of this basin are monitored for mass, energy and hydrological balance. Now, NCPOR has established a high-altitude research station named Himanch in Himalaya at 4,000 meter altitude at Sutri Dhaka, a remote location in Lahaul Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. The ministry further says that the studies carried out by NCPOR in Chandra Basin indicates varying rates of retreat of these glaciers in the range of 13 to 33 meter per year. The rate of melting varies from glacier to glacier depending on topography and climatic variability of the region. Also, the mass balance measurements at Batal and Sutri Dhaka glaciers during peak ablation revealed the role of debris in influencing the ice mass losses. Debris of thickness above 2 centimeter have reduced the melting rates up to 70%, whereas the debris cover of below 2 centimeter thickness has accelerated melting up to 10% of the total melting. Since the glacier health is affected by both natural and human factors, effect towards a reduction in greenhouse gases, aerosols, etc. are critical towards the conservation of the glaciers in Himalayas. And the next question is to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and this one is from member Dr. Ami Yagnik, who wants to know from the government about the initiatives taken by it to increase male participation in family planning.
Well, here are the initiatives taken by the government to increase male participation in family planning. These are observation of vasectomy fortnight in the month of November every year in all states of India to raise awareness on male participation and promotion of male sterilization. Training of service providers to know scalpel vasectomy to enhance the pool of service providers. Condom boxes set up in health facilities to enable clients to access condoms in privacy. Under home delivery of contraceptive scheme, contraceptives including condoms are delivered to the beneficiaries by ASHA. substantially increased compensation for male sterilization under the Enhanced Compensation Scheme for Sterilization, a 360-degree media campaign underlining the role of men in family planning to encourage men to adopt family planning methods. So Vishal, those were the important questions and answers that we had in this edition of Question Hour.
Well, yes, indeed. And we'll take a short break here. But on the other side of the break, our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh will be back with some more questions in Prashn Kaal.